The Daily Code Snippet. Overview of the basics of web accessibility. First, we will present an overview of the basics to making a website accessible, and then we will go into more detail on how to accomplish each. Add alternative or alt text for every image, video, or audio. Alternative text is a description of the media that allows those with disabilities to read or hear the content they are not able to view. The object should be described and its purpose on the site explained. Add transcripts for all video or audio content. Transcripts help the hearing impaired understand content that would not be available to them otherwise. Clearly state the language on your site in the header code. This helps those using text readers. By identifying the language, it helps the text reader to function accordingly. Offer an alternative or suggestion if a user encounters an input error. Sometimes those with disabilities encounter errors when trying to navigate your site. Offering suggestions helps them navigate the content. Make sure your website has a consistent and organized layout. Menus, links, and buttons should be clearly defined and easy to navigate. Any link should be clearly labeled with descriptions that tell the user what will happen if the link or button is clicked. Good markup is key to making your website accessible. Learning to build your website with clean code that is easy to understand and proper makes your content available to your users. Consider consulting an attorney who specializes in disability law anytime you are concerned that you are not doing enough with regards to ADA compliance. Although we can help you get on the right track, this is not a substitute for legal advice. Writing good alternative or alt text takes practice. Alt text is meant to be descriptive, and the typical use case is someone who is visually impaired using a screen reader. One needs to visually describe the image so that the user is able to understand the content of an image. In contrast, the title or caption is used to indicate the relevance of the image to the topic at hand. So as an example, we have this image here. An example of alt text for this image would be a stonewall sculpture snaking around trees at the edge of a stream. In contrast, the title could be more concise. Andy Goldworthy's sculpture at the Storm King Art Center in New York. What would you write as the alt text for this image? Write it in the comments below. For media files such as audio or video, you would want to add transcripts for accessibility. In addition, for those with auditory impairments, such as being hard of hearing or deafness, we should add captions. Captions can also aid those who are viewing our video in a noisy environment or when audio may be disruptive. And for those for whom the language of the video is not their primary language, a text transcript may be helpful for translation. The track element, an empty element, is added to media elements to specify timed text tracks. There are different types of text tracks: subtitles, captions, descriptions, chapters, and metadata. The track element is used in conjunction with a web VTT file. A web VTT file format is a way of writing text files that contain the strings of text called cues, along with the metadata, such as the time at which the text should be displayed. The track element is added after all the source elements within an audio or video element. The kind attribute is used to identify what kind of text track it is. For example, subtitle, caption, etc. The source lang attribute identifies the language of the text track, while the label attribute tells the user the language. Let's look at an example of using a track element in our code. The track element is inserted after two source elements within the video element. And after our track element, the paragraph text tells the user, if neither source is supported, that the browser doesn't support HTML5 video and provides a link for the user to click to access the video instead. For the track element, we use the kind attribute to specify that this track is a subtitle, and we tell the browser where to find the web VTT file in the source attribute. The language of our text track is actually German by the label, but the browser understands German by the value DE for Deutsch. Adding text tracks to your media will also help with SEO, or search engine optimization. Presented by Designers Learn Code.